Coming up on this episode of the Mompreneur Show, I'm interviewing Jen Hansard, a wife, a mother of 2 beautiful children, and a co-owner of Simple Green Smoothies. My name is Vicky, and this is the show that features amazing conversations with the most remarkable mompreneurs. Jen, welcome to the show.
Hey, Vicky. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for being here. So Jen, you have an incredible story from wanting to be an online business owner, to be able to stay home with your kids, and then making it happen. Please share your journey with us.
Of course. Yeah, it's been a very interesting journey for me. I think when people see it right now, it just looks like it's been amazing and awesome. And like we were on the doctor's TV show last week. And from that side, it looks like it's just been the best thing ever. And I just want to be totally real with you guys up front in that it has been a journey and a struggle, but it's been so much work and it's been worth all of it. So I just want to be real and share that whole thing with you. So for me, it started with my business partner. Her name is Jada Selner, and she's just an amazing friend and also the co-founder of Simple Green Smoothies. And we met back in 2007 when we had our kids. We were first-time moms in a mom's group in Studio City, California. And we met there, like sitting in a park on blankets and talking about like what foods to feed your baby, like how little sleep we were getting and what to do, organic, non-organic sheets, like all of the stuff that you really stress about as a first-time mom. And so that's what we connected over. But it was really short. And like it's neat how like God puts people in our lives even for just a second and it doesn't make sense, but then later on it does. And this is one of those stories, I believe. So pretty much, I think we were in the group together for maybe 2 months at the most. And then Jada moved to Hawaii and started a preschool out there. And me and my husband, I think we were in LA for another year, but after that we moved to Florida to start a church with some friends. And that's kind of like Jada and I, we went from being in the same city to being like one in Hawaii and one in Florida. And that's a 6 time zone difference, I think, which is crazy for conversations to happen. Can you hear me, Vicky? Is it working okay?
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool.
Yes. No, thank you so much for sharing that. So what happened next? You guys went your separate ways. How did you guys keep in touch? How did the journey go on?
Yeah. So because of Facebook, we still knew what was going on in each other's lives. And I had started my own design studio online so that I could work from home and make money, but also because I'm such a doer. Like, it's hard for me to just like be okay being restful. Like I'm always thinking of like, what else can I do for the day? And an example of that is yesterday, my husband and I had some time off and he was like sitting down reading a magazine and just like in his zone and so happy. And in my brain, all I'm thinking about is I want to build a fire pit today. And so I go outside, I start like figuring out where I'm going to put this fire pit. I start digging the hole and he comes out and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I just feel like we need to have a fire pit in the yard. And so then he came out to help me. And then by the end of the day, we have a fire pit now and it's really cute. But so I'm always on the move. I'm always like wanting to like do something and be productive. And so I started my design studio online and I would post like pictures of the work I was doing for clients. And Jada saw that. And she was interested in starting an online newsletter for parents. And it started because of the preschool she was building, but also she wanted to find a way to not have to be location bound. She had just read 4-Hour Work Week and like had this bug to like start something online. And she knew I did design work. And so she
Very
reached out
interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so very interesting. So you were doing design work and you posted it on Facebook. And it's so funny because I think that is so important for us to put our stuff out there because so many of us moms do things in our own little world. Yeah. And a lot of times fear stops us from sharing stuff. You know, like what we're doing, what we're up to. And it's very common. And I'm so glad that you had that braveness, what is that word, to put your stuff out there, because otherwise, maybe Jada wouldn't
Yeah.
see that, and it maybe wouldn't have happened if you haven't done that. So that's very interesting. All right, keep going, sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you.
No, that's great. It's so true though. You do have to be visible for people to know what's going on. So she reached out, wanted me to design a newsletter header for her. And so I was like, you know what? I'll give you the friend rate. I'll charge you $75 for this newsletter header. And that was like going to be the whole exchange of the business. And the plan was I design it, then she builds her newsletter and runs her own business, and I go on and doing my own design work. But just like her and I, like having those initial conversations over what the parenting newsletter was going to be like, just really excited me. And in the back of my head, I've always wanted to start a blog and be like the natural parenting blog, and kind of take that presence in the world. And so I hit a point where I was scared to share that with her. But when we were doing the newsletter, she asked me, she's like, what do you think the title should be? And so I was willing to brainstorm ideas for her newsletter header idea. And the one that she ended up picking was one that I thought of, and it was called Family Sponge. And then
I love that name, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So then I felt like a part of me was in what she was doing. And I just felt like I had to share with her like where I could see it going, even though it wasn't where she originally thought it could go. And so I put myself out there and just had a conversation with her. And I said, look, Jada, I know this is what we started this exchange with, was a $75 newsletter header, but I've really had this passion to start a parenting blog. And I think we could like do this together, and your newsletter and the parenting blog go together. They're like yin and yang or something.
Yeah.
Took a couple days and thought about it and talked to her husband, and she came back and said like, yeah, like I think we could be partners on this. And so that was the beginning of our partnership. And for a whole year, we hustled like crazy, writing blog posts and doing guest posts on other sites, and doing giveaways where we would actually buy the giveaway product, like Tom's shoes. And then we'd put it on our blog post and be like, one lucky winner wins from Tom's shoes. And so like you just start out small, but you dream big. And that's what we did with Family Sponge from the beginning.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I want to ask you about the partnership. I remember you guys, I think it was at the Good Life Project camp in New York, when during a workshop or something, where you guys just kind of started talking about doing something together, and the resistance Jada had, like, but I don't know, and then so how did you guys do that? Because finding a partner is so not easy. Like there's so many opportunities, there's so many, but how do you know that you'll work together? Did you have like a vision? Did you guys get along very well in the beginning? Did you guys like write out a plan? Like how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely went into it. And the only reason I even like brought it up to her was because we were so aligned in our heart and how we wanted to raise our kids, and like the women that we wanted to be as well. And like the wives we wanted to be for our husbands. And so all of that felt so connected for us that I felt like starting a business together was just another piece of that. So it wasn't difficult in that respect. But the scary part, and I know Jada shares this, is that like her idea was this parenting, like a newsletter, and that was her baby, and she wanted to do it on her own. And to have some like the game change, you have to decide, are you willing to flex and go with it, or do you stand your ground and stick to your guns of where you started? And why our partnership works so well is because we have such different strengths that we bring. She is from like more of the internet marketing background. Her aunt is a pretty well-known internet marketer. So she taught her a lot about like the back-end strategies with that, and sales pages and digital ebooks. And I come from more of the visual brand side of things and do like advertising. And so we were able to like make a partnership list and say like, these are the things that I'm willing to bring to the table and like have final say on and take ownership over. And so we each made our list on our partnership agreement, And that's what we like agreed to do. And it felt fair. It felt like we were both bringing enough strengths to the table. And then we just ran with it from there.
Very, very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's important to find the right person for partnerships, because there are so many, there's so many stories where, I know people that had horrible partnersps and they had to sue each other and everything. It was sad. So,
and I will say, like, it really is a marriage. Like we consider ourselves like it's a separate marriage we have. And with that, like, you have to do the work. Like, you can't just check in every day and focus on business. Like, there's a relationship to like nurture there as well. And Jada and I have been really intentional with doing that at the same time as running the business. And so there's situations where it doesn't feel good. Like if like I say something to her, not like, and I'm saying it like in a quick way because we're in a hurry, and she takes it as like, oh, like that was rude. Like Jen really hurt my feelings. Instead of letting it go, like we talk about that stuff and get it out there and work through it. And it's helped so much, like to see it as not just a business, but a friendship too, and be like spending time in both of those areas.
Very interesting. And I think it really helps that you guys had very similar values.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I really appreciate you sharing that. So anybody who wants to partner up, you guys take this as a lesson, because it's so important to be able to connect it in the heart, as well as, and I love that exercise that you guys did. That's genius. Like what you're bringing to the table, because that way people don't feel like they're not, or, feel like, oh, I'm bringing more to the table than the other partner. Because there's so many variables in that too. So, okay. So you guys started the Family Sponge blog, and is that where we stopped?
Yeah.
And then you guys started working on an ebook. Right?
Yeah. At the end of the year, we realized we had made no money on this business venture that we put 40 hours a week into. And so we're like, this is not working. We need to create a product. And so our goal is to create a green smoothie ebook. And green smoothies for us had just become like the go-to solution for so much in our lives. One of the things was Jada was still struggling with holding on to baby weight from her daughter Zoe. And so green smoothies helped her to lose that weight and just like gave her this confidence that she couldn't get otherwise. And it was really neat to see her have that confidence and the energy again. And for me, I was really struggling with energy as well. Like I was hooked on coffee. My kids were super little, and I just didn't know what to do except drink more and more coffee, thinking that I was going to have the energy to get through the day. But it never worked. And I was just cranky. I was frustrated, and I felt like crap. And so I started drinking green smoothies, and we made them ourselves. Like I never went and bought the $8 smoothie to start with. Like I went to the grocery store and like bought the ingredients with my family, and we put it in the blender and blended it together and loved it. And I was shocked because I was a vegetarian since I was 16 years old, and I stayed away from salads. Like salads were nasty. Like I remember going to the grocery or at a restaurant and seeing like a salad on a menu for like $12. And I'm like, who in their mind would pay $12 for a salad? Like you have to pay me $12 to eat a salad.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But with a green smoothie, it actually tasted really good. And so I was hooked on it and willing to drink my salad every day and get lots of energy from it. And it just really gave me my life back. Like it felt like I was alive again, and that I wasn't just getting through the day, but I was actually thriving every day. And so we wanted as many people and that we could help feel that same way, because we knew we weren't alone. Like it's a common thing for moms. Like we're overworked, we're exhausted, and it's just not good. Like that's not the life we're meant to live.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we moms, we especially really need that energy and that health and vitality to raise, beautiful families and successful businesses. So how was the ebook that you guys wrote? How was it? What was it like? Was it beautiful, just like your cookbook? What did it have your story?
It actually never even got published. We never finished it, which is so funny.
Wow.
Yeah. So we started working on it, And at the same time that we started going through recipes and like writing like health benefits of green smoothies, a friend of Jada's suggested we get on Instagram and start sharing our recipes that we were testing and making at our houses, because Instagram at that point was really hot for health and wellness and foodies. And she was like, you guys would be perfect for that. And so I was hesitant, and Jada was too, because we were already on Facebook and just doing newsletters and blog posts for Family Sponge. And adding one more thing into our lives was just like, I don't think we can do it. And so I wasn't excited about it. Jada went for it though. And I'm so thankful to this day that she like found the time to like start our Simple Green Smoothies Instagram account. And Vicky, I know we talked about this earlier. Like, why did we call it Simple Green Smoothies when our website was called Family Sponge at that time? And the truth is because we were going to make this our ebook. Our ebook was called Simple Green Smoothies too. And so we started the Instagram account and would share recipes a couple times a week of just the raw ingredients we were putting in our blenders. And so it would be like fresh spinach, a handful of strawberries and blueberries. And then we take our crappy old iPhones and take a little picture, post it on Instagram, and then share the recipe right there. And so people got so much value from this because they could look at that photo and know exactly what they had to buy to make the green smoothie. And we also had the measurements too, if they wanted that extra help.
Wow. So that was very beneficial to your audience on Instagram.
Oh yeah. They loved it. And we were known as the girls that made green smoothies taste good, because we weren't the first to create a green smoothie. Like, it's not our invention at all. But the ones that we tried and the books that I bought, like to make more of them, they didn't taste good. And when you have kids that you want to like eat better too, like I wanted them to drink these, and I personally wanted to enjoy them too. So we were on a quest to make green smoothies actually taste good, and we succeeded and shared all of our recipes every day on social media, and people fell in love.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. But how long did it take you guys to really take off? And when did you guys start monetizing? Because I mean, Instagram was literally your drive, right?
Yeah. Instagram took off insanely quick. Like, we started it in July, and by October, I think we had like 20,000 followers. Like, where we were like, that's more than our email list after a whole year of working on Family Sponge, like super hardcore. Wow. And we were just doing this couple times a week on Instagram. And so we instantly saw like Family Sponge was kind of like this plateau sitting there, and Instagram for Simple Green Smoothies was just taking off. And we decided that we needed to kind of shift our focus and maybe not keep doing Play-Doh blog posts every day on Family Sponge, but create more green smoothie recipes. And we hit this struggle too, because we realized, and we really looked at our community on Instagram, and it was not the same community that was on Family Sponge or on Facebook.
That's very interesting. How did you guys look at the community that way? Like, what did you look at?
Yeah, followers. Like, when people would follow us, we would kind of check them out. And it was a lot of like young millennials. It was moms as well, but it was also like husbands and just guys wanting to work out. And like, so if we sent them over to Family Sponge for anything, they would have been like, who are you? And I'm not interested in your Play-Doh. And so we decided at that point, it was about October, that we needed to like create a whole new website, a whole new brand called Simple Green Smoothies, and just market that as its own entity. And Family Sponge would be something different.
Very interesting. So you really had to know your audience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because we could have blown it. Like, at that moment, if we did not create a website and go out as Simple Green Smoothies as a brand, but send them back to Family Sponge, we would have lost the community that we had just grown to 20,000.
So okay, that community on Instagram, it has grown. How did you grow it so quickly and so big?
Most of that, I will say, is Jada's crazy strategies that she just got really creative with. And a lot of it had to do with finding people that were in similar followers as you, like same amount, and then doing guest promotions, like working together and partnering. Also, the thing that sets us apart still to this day, besides other green smoothie sites, or sets us aside from them, is that we respond to every single comment that's someone posts us or tags us. And like, we just really believe that everyone deserves to be heard and acknowledged, and have always done that. And just, we do that through our emails. If someone replies back to a newsletter we send out, we always respond back to them. And on Facebook,
that's
too.
a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And now,
how did you guys make it happen?
Point, we, like, for a while, I mean, when we did our first 30-day green smoothie challenge, which was in the January 2013, we had over 30,000 people doing that first green smoothie challenge with us. Like, it was crazy. And so
that's crazy.
Like,
how
the comments
into your business?
That was July. We started Instagram, and then January we started the challenge. So 7 months.
Oh my god.
6 months.
Oh my
gosh. Yeah. And I mean, people had questions because they were just starting doing their 30-day challenge with us. Like, they had never had a green smoothie before. So questions were flying off like handlebars, like crazy. And Jada and I couldn't keep up. And we're just like, we can't do this. Like, there's no time to sleep. And so my husband, he's so amazing. He took a shift for us. And so Jada, me, and my husband would all have like a time window during the day that we each had to go on and like comment through, like the post, comment, respond to emails. And we did that for the whole month, and we're just like crazy mode, but it was so fun.
Wow, that's amazing. So you guys were hustling. So, so you built this huge audience on Instagram from engaging with your target audience, partnering up with people with similar, with accounts with similar audiences. Yep. So, you got 20,000 people. How did you transfer them to your email list? Was it the huge launch of the
it was the list building with the challenge. Yeah. Wow. So our secret sauce is to create a free opt-in that is better than anyone's paid offer. And that's what we're doing with this 30-day challenge, because it's a lot of work. And it's we spend about 4 months a year, every single year, working on our free 30-day challenge. And most businesses are like, that's insane. Like, why would you put all of this much time into something that is free? But for us, it's growing this community. And I would say, like, from our 30-day challenges, like, I think it was it Julie, or I can't remember her name, who was in here. She's one of our rock stars. Like, she's done 30-day challenges with us before. But we're changing lives. And I'm in the business to change lives. I'm not in the business to make money. And so if I can just sustain my family and feed us, but like help the world, like, that's all it takes. Like, that makes me feel like I have a good life. And so the free 30 days does that for us.
Okay, so I have a whole bunch of questions now. So the 30-day challenge, it doesn't just go whenever a person signs up. You guys, how many times a year do you guys do them? Like 3-4 times?
We do them 4 times a year.
4 times a year. So can you share that strategy with us? Like, why 4 times a year? Why not ongoing?
Yeah, for us, it's because we invest so much time into them. If they were ongoing, like, our team would be burnout all the time, because our 30-day challenge is technically a launch. Like, we have all hands on deck. Because there's so many people coming in, our list is growing like crazy. There's emails to respond to. So it takes a lot of bandwidth from our whole team during a 30-day challenge. So if we did them continuously, like, we just wouldn't be happy. Like, we would hate our lives. So we stick to 4 a year, and we do January because that's just the time of year where everyone's ready to get healthy and like make new changes and just start fresh. And then April for springtime, like, summer's about to come. It's time to like get serious about your health. It's going to be bikinis and all that. And then July, because it's so flippin' hot out, that you need something refreshing and quick to make as you're on the go for trips. And then October is the last one.
Very, very interesting. And you guys have them all seasonal ingredients, whatever is in season that time of year, right?
Yeah. Yep. So we focus on that, like, based on like America.
Yeah. Okay. I know, because I remember hearing something about Australia, because it's like totally different season.
Yeah. So they're flipped.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you deal with that? Do people complain?
We just tell them to swap ingredients. Like, and we have a whole substitution guide that they can use to
Very
like
cool.
swap for what they can get. Yeah, because
Very cool. Very
that
cool.
isn't fun.
Okay, so for sure, and it's funny that I wouldn't even think about that. It's like the different seasons. So, okay, so people come in from your Instagram onto your list because they want to do the green smoothie challenge. They go through the 30 days. What happens next? And this brings me to the question. And Keeney Hudson asked from our chat here,
I saw that.
where is the income stream coming from? Do you have ads on your site or membership or what? And so I want you to answer that question in. As well as like how after that challenge, where do they go? What do you guys pitch and how does that work?
Cool. So when we did our first 30-day green smoothie challenge, we didn't quite know what we were going to do after that as far as like what was going to bring us money. But we listened to our community. And that's something I think that's really important in how we respond to every comment. It's to show them the love, but it's also to learn about them and figure out what do they need. And after that first challenge, everyone was asking they just wanted a PDF. They wanted to be able to print out their recipes and have their shopping lists figured out for them. And that's what we do with the 5 30-day challenges. We give you a weekly shopping list, 5 recipes a week to blend up, and they're all different. So you're exploring a lot of different flavors. And so they asked for that. And so what we did was, which we thought was kind of funny, was we packaged the whole free 30-day challenge, made it into an ebook, and then we sold it for $5. And we were like, they're asking for it. Let's do it. And we were really scared to charge much because money was always a hard thing to ask for because we had just done free challenges.
But how do you get over that?
It takes time. And for us, we did it quickly. We did our $5 ebook, but it made us $12,000 within the next, I think it was 30 days. And so that was the first time money had come into our business like that.
And so how long was that? Sorry, I'm totally interrupting you. How long was that after you guys started the business? Kind of like a timeline. You guys started it in July, I think you said. And how long?
Smoothies, July. And then that was end of January. We made our first 12,000.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. But then Family Spent, we really started that in November of 2011. So if you want to really start the journey, that's when it starts.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because everyone has a journey before their big win, right?
Yeah.
And so good to know that Simple Green Smoothies didn't just come out of nowhere and say, we got this, boom, done. But it was a journey, one thing after another that led to this success. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. You guys, that's a tweetable. Somebody tweet that. And I'm going to shoot to make a cute little quote image or something to quote Jen because that's huge. That's huge. All right. So after that, you guys, okay, go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
So one thing that I think is really important was that with that $12,000, we took some out to buy our groceries and stuff because we were struggling. I was on unemployment and our kids were getting WIC checks, which is it's a government program where they help you pay for fresh produce and essential things for your kids. So that's where I was financially at this time. Behind the scenes, I was hustling like crazy because I needed something to take off because we were not doing well financially as a family. And so $12,000, some of it went towards that kind of stuff. And then we also hired our first helper, which was a friend of ours. And so he helped us do email commenting, Facebook, this thing that was taking a lot of our time. We were able to pass off to him to help with. And then we also signed up for B school. And so I just think it's really important to when you make money, don't spend all your money, really invest it back into the business. Even though it's hard because I wanted it all. I wanted to take a vacation. I needed a vacation. I was exhausted. But if I did that, we wouldn't have been able to invest in the business in that way.
That's very interesting. So going back to hiring your first employee, or was it a contract-based work?
It's contractor. Yeah. All we use is contractors.
Do you still use contractors to this day?
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's very interesting.
For us, has other passions outside of just working at Simple Green Smoothies. So everyone's part-time. We actually have another pastor who works for us. We have stay-at-home moms that just want a couple hours a week to get a little break and make extra money.
Amazing. So how did you hire this first friend? How was the transition?
Oh, it was awesome. Like he was so good. We hit the jackpot and he's still with us today. His name's Dan and we are just
That's incredible.
so lucky to have him. And,
That's incredible. Okay,
yeah,
Jen, I just look at the time. We have like a few more minutes.
Yeah, but I can talk more about money real quick that I just finished with.
Yes.
Because that first ebook was just the beginning, but it taught us that digital products can actually make money, and you don't have to sell them in like a super scammy, salesy way. Like just really listen to your community and figure out what they're asking for and what they want. And when you create that for them, they just they're happy to buy it. Like they're super excited to buy it. And so our next product was a 21-day cleanse. And that's because we listened to them again. And after they were completing the 30-day green smoothie challenge, they felt like they totally knew how to make a green smoothie. Like they could do that with their eyes closed. They could create the best recipe in the world because they had just done it for 30 days. Mm-hmm. But they wanted to learn how to cook food and they didn't know how to make anything healthy. And so they would be drinking a green smoothie and then driving through fast food for dinner. And I was in the same boat and I could relate because that was me. Like that's what I was doing. And so I was excited to create this product because I needed it in my own life too. And so we hired a holistic nutritionist because Jada and I are not cooks. We're not chefs. We're not nutritionists, but we knew it's what we needed. It was what our community needed. And so we hired her to help us create this 21-day cleanse, which was not like a restrictive cleanse. Like a lot of them, like this is for moms. Like this is for us who like to eat and don't have a lot of time to cook, but just want to feel better all the time. And that's what we did with Fresh Start 21. And we launched that in July, which was a full year after we started our Instagram account. And when the cart closed in August, 10 days later, we made $86,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it's insane. So I'm just telling you, like, really listen to give them something free that changes their lives, no matter what. It doesn't have to be in health and wellness either, like business, like there's so many different ways to do it, but give it to them for free. Like give them that change that they need to just have a better life. And if they never buy from you, that's great too, because you've really made the world a better place. But you also have the opportunity now and kind of a responsibility to take them further on the journey. And then that's where you can really invest your time and money into a super valuable product that will help them out. And then you can sell that and really create a business.
That's so inspiring, Jen. Thank you so much for sharing all the details that you shared, because not many are so open and like, okay, here are the numbers. So I really appreciate that. One last question before I let you go. On your email signature, you have your signature, Jen, and then FYI, I check my email at 11:30 and whatever. Tell us, what's that all about?
Okay, yeah. So for all the mamas out there, it is really hard to juggle everything. And one thing that I was realizing was that my email inbox was like taking over my life. And so, can you see me? Hello? Yeah.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, sorry. All these windows just popped up. It told me I had like meetings, but they're going to have to wait a minute. This is important.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Jen, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. So I just felt my inbox was taking over my agenda. And I think it's in Essentialism or E-Myth, one of those amazing books where it talks about that and how we let other people's agendas like take over our own lives. And so the second I would go into my inbox, everything in there is something that someone's asking of me, needing of me, or wanting to like use my brain power to figure out. And I realized at the end of the day, I wasn't getting anything done that was productive or moving forward in the business. And also just for myself, I didn't ever have like free time in a work day to like take a break because there's so many emails to answer. And then there was still all the work that I needed to do. Yeah. And so I decided, Todd Herman, I think was the first one I saw do this. He had a signature line when I reached out to him once. And it said, I only check my emails at 11:30 and 3:30. I looked at that. I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, I want to do that. And so I put it on my signature line. I like totally stole it from him, put it on there. And I will say I'm not the best at using it, but it gives me permission to not check it any other time of the day. And I don't feel guilty anymore because everyone knows it's out there. Like if you send me an email, you're knowing when you're going to get a response. So
very interesting. I totally love that. I'm totally gonna, okay. I'm committing. I'm totally gonna steal that. All right, Jen, thank you. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your incredible story. Everyone is just like in awe. They loved it and they truly connected with you. So thank you so much, sweetheart.
Oh, cool. I will let you feel free to reach out to me, you guys, if you have questions. Like I don't know what you're struggling with or like what your roadblock is right now, or just want to say, hey, like I promise you, like I'm open to that. So you can. I will say I'm not on Twitter, even though I had a login here under Twitter. But I'm on Facebook, email 11:30 and 3:30, and Instagram. I have Jen Hansard. That's probably a great way to find me.
Yes, it's really fun to follow you on Instagram too.
Yeah, and make sure Jen, you guys join our 30-day green smoothie challenge. Like we do them 4 times a year. They're awesome. Like they're totally free, and I think it's a great way to study a business model that's all about list building with authenticity and being very generous. So I would love for you to steal ideas that we're doing and apply it to your own business.
Jen, thank you so much. I posted your website here in the chat box. You guys, please go ahead and click over and join their smoothie challenge. I totally did it and it's incredible. And make sure to get their book too on Amazon, Simple Green Smoothies. You'll find it. Anyway, Jen, again. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks, Vicky. All right, bye you guys.
Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
All right, I hope you enjoyed our conversation and hope that you will join us live next time. Every single Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, we have lively conversations with incredible mompreneurs, and I hope you will join us. My name is Vicky Lashenko, and this is a show that features remarkable mompreneurs. I will see you next time.